We finally know the post-launch plan for Assassin's Creed Valhalla for the first year after launch. We got 2 big expansions as part of the Season Pass and also 3 seasons, with the first one already starting this year. I got a press release with way more info about these updates, so I want to go over them in this video and also share my take and some concerns, but also things I really like. So a like on the video would really help the channel out. And let's go. As you might know, you can win Assassin's Creed Valhalla by clicking the link in the pinned comment and becoming a subscriber of the channel. I got a giveaway going on. I will reach out to the winner in early November. Let's start with the first big post-launch update that will introduce the first season. We already get it in December and it kicks off with the Yule Festival, a celebration in our settlement. But we will actually also unlock a new settlement area during this season as well with new settlement buildings. So even if you already maxed out the settlement by that point, we will have expansions in the first year after launch. The big focus will be game modes though, and the first one we get is called River Raids. I told you in a previous video that raids when the game comes out will not be repeatable, but through this mode they will be, and it sounds like they will be more challenging and kind of a risk-reward activity. And that should actually be quite nice, because by the time this mode releases, we will have done many raids already, so hopefully this shakes it up a bit. And the jumps Vikings that you can create and take on raids with you play a huge part in this, of course. I already told you that they want to expand this post-launch, and now we learned that during this first season we will actually get an update that will let our jumps Vikings earn XP and also rank up. And the idea is, of course, that you share your jumps Viking with a friend. And with the system in place, it means that the higher your jumps Viking is in terms of rank, the more silver you get if a friend uses them. Every season will last for 3 months, so while we will see the festival first, other content will likely be rolling out over the course of the season, including new skills and abilities actually. And that then also means that our max power level will increase, because every skill point you spend is an extra point to your power level. So we should expect like power level upgrades quite often. And they also mentioned that during this first season we get new weapons and gear and cosmetic items for the settlement, the longship, horse and raven. So makes me think they are talking about new item packs here, like the one we saw in the Ultimate Edition already, and of course in the previous AC games. But it might also work slightly different, because this whole season structure of course goes hand in hand with the biggest trend we've seen in the last couple of years: battle passes. Every big Ubisoft game has been getting seasons these days that also add battle passes, including the Division 2, For Honor, the Crew 2 recently actually. Watch Dogs Legion will also get seasons, so I totally expect a battle pass in Valhalla 2, as I actually already predicted a while back. And I gotta be honest, that might actually be a good thing. If the free track can already give us guaranteed awesome loot after like completing certain challenges or doing raids in that new mode, then you're actually working towards a special reward that you know you can get in the end, instead of having to test your luck each time in these Olympian gifts or Haka chests. Like, it was pretty hard to get something you wanted, while that could be different in the battle passes. So I totally expect a battle pass in this game. It's kinda hard to say though how it will play out, but maybe people with experience of other battle passes in Ubisoft games could let me know their experience in the comments down below. Like, are they favorable for free players as well, or what is your experience? Drop it down. What we do know for sure though is that Season 2 will include another new game mode that builds on Valhalla's core combat experiences, another new Jumps Vikings update, and actually every season will also have a new festival in the settlement and new gear cosmetics. And they actually also talk about narrative content as well. But yeah, if they will be like as big as the Lost Tales of Greece missions or smaller things, we don't really know. Season 2 will start in March 2021, so then Season 3 will likely begin in June 2021 and Season 4 in September. Odyssey's post-launch ended in September, so that was almost a full year after launch, while Valhalla will go on for way longer and maybe even include a second year. Like, we see the line continue here, and they really said like year 1, also implying that there is more to come. At launch, we already get an exclusive mission though, as part of the Season Pass, Ultimate Edition or Gold Edition. We already knew about this, but now we got some gameplay of the Legend of Beowulf. And I really think it can go both ways. They tease that a beast is of course attacking people, we see a silhouette as well, but the game should overall be very grounded. So curious if we actually get to fight a creature like that, or if it turns out to be an aggressive wolf. I think a dragon is of course out of the question, although that was part of the original story of Beowulf. But yeah, I would not be surprised if maybe we get drugged and then fight a crazy looking Grendel type beast. I would be down for that. But yeah, I think we're just looking at like a larger wolf. I do hope that we get a sort of magical sword at the end that would also fit with this story. The Season Pass content continues in early spring, so likely the end of March 2021 or early April. And that's actually pretty late compared to the Odyssey Season Pass content that already started in December, with episodes following that in January and early March, and the Hidden Ones and the Curse of the Varos DLC for Origins were already out by the point this first Valhalla expansion will hit. So I really hope the seasons will add enough for us to do, because otherwise we will be waiting for 4 months for substantial new content to arrive. I gotta say though, these expansions look super large. In this first content pack, the Wrath of the Druids, we will actually go to Ireland and fight the Children of Nanu cult that have some crazy armor that I'm sure we will be able to get as well. We will have to hunt them down, fight their members, so maybe there will be like targets for us to chase. And overall it looks like a lot of beautiful locations to explore. We have a look at a ring fort that we can take over and some crazy structures and mountainy terrain. As we see in the concept art, they are going for a darker kind of haunted tone for this expansion. But we also get to go to Dublin and can influence their trading system. So I'm really curious how that translates into gameplay. But it totally sounds like a pretty big expansion. And then early summer, so likely end of June, early July 2021, we get to experience the Siege of Paris. So that should take place around the 12 years after the game starts. But actually these Season Pass expansions should be accessible pretty early in the main story already, likely for new players. But yeah, Frankia looks huge in this concept art, and instead of like adding things to the current map, all these expansions will of course actually take us to different areas in the world. And I think we're looking at bigger maps than what we saw in previous expansions for Assassin's Creed games. We should meet historical figures in this expansion, maybe Rollo will be here. And we should also expect new repeatable activities, raids against elite units of Charles the Fat, and of course explore Paris. That's also awesome that new cities will be added via these expansions. And I love this shot, by the way, of Eivor with the assassin robe. And is this Sigurd in the hall that we see here with Eivor? He looks a lot like him, right? So might this mean that no matter our choices in the main story, we will still be with Sigurd when we go to Paris? This DLC again takes place more than 10 years after the main game. It's of course also concept art, so maybe they don't want to like give things away, but it's still interesting. I would say that overall the post-launch trailer was like less exciting than the previous ones. Seeing Darius for the first time in Atlantis, or the Trial of the Gods in Origins was like, whoa, this looks awesome. Everything is very grounded in this post-launch plan. Seems like we will get our Assassin's Creed fix and our mythical fix already in the main game instead of true post-launch expansions. And that might actually be a cooler way in the end. It's kind of hard to tell right now. I, of course, still have many questions, like who's going to be the new Sargon? Will there be a weekly reset that we can check each week? I would love to stream that again. So kind of hoping that will return. I'm also worried that it will be too long before the first expansion, because I like to be playing this till that first expansion drops. So I hope that there's enough to do. But let's for now just focus on the main game, because I actually still got many topics that I want to discuss in future videos as we get closer to November 10th. So totally subscribe for way more Assassin's Creed Valhalla videos if you haven't already. A like on the video would really help the channel out. And I actually uploaded new raw gameplay on my second channel that you can check out by clicking on the screen. Totally subscribe there as well, would really help me out. And I'm curious to hear your take on the Season Pass in the comments down below. For now, I will speak to you next time. Goodbye.